Hey everyone, Sarah here from Sarah in Wonderland, and today we are doing a fun video that I've never done before. So we are doing a 5 first impressions video. So I did a lot of makeup shopping recently and I wanted to try out the most amount of products at the same time and give you guys my opinions because I didn't want to just throw it in a drawer and play with it in the next few months, because that does tend to happen. I buy new makeup and then I don't try it right away and it gets thrown in the drawer because I get stuck in the routine of using my same favorite products. So I created this blue smoky cut crease look and I am freaking obsessed with it. So if you guys want to see how I got this look and my opinions on my 5 new products, then just keep on watching. Alright guys, so we are going to start this off by doing the eyes because I have no idea what I'm doing for them and no idea how they're going to turn out. So worst comes to worst, I can take that off and not have to redo my whole makeup. So first I'm going to prime my eyes with my Urban Decay Primer Potion. This is in the shade Fix. And I do this for all my eyeshadow looks, so I figured testing out a new eyeshadow palette, it is only fair. And then to set that, I'm going to use my Cover FX Loose Translucent Setting Powder. And then I'm also going to use just some regular Scotch tape. I'm going to put it on the back of my hand so that it's not super sticky. Just kind of remove it a couple times. And then I'm going to use this on the corners of my eye just to create a really sharp line with the eyeshadow. So I'm going to line it up from the corner of my eye to the corner of my brow. One of our 5 first impressions today is going to be the new Morphe Dare to Create palette. This thing is huge. I thought the Jaclyn Hill palette was big. Guys, there's no way you could travel with this thing. It's ginormous. But it's also very pretty looking, so I will show you that. So first things first, it has like a little insert with all the names on it, which I appreciate, and then this is the palette. You get a ton of different kind of color selections. So you have the blues over here, you have greens over here, you have the more brown, obviously the brown tone shades, neutral ones here, and then you have the warm red tone shades on this side. So they're kind of all like different shadow looks in itself, the 4 corners, and then the big ones across the middle are the transition shades. And I like how the transition shades are bigger because those are the shadows that you go through the most. I don't know why, but the blue shades in this palette are really speaking to me. Obviously, also the green ones are because I'm obsessed with green eyeshadow. But I have done a couple green eyeshadow looks, and I've definitely done a couple browns, and I just did a reddish tone eyeshadow look as well. I also haven't done any blue eyeshadow looks on my channel before, so I think that's what we're going to go for today. It is definitely out of my comfort zone and a little bit scary, but we are going to try it out anyways. To start off, I'm going to take the lightest transition shade, and that is Bear, and I'm just going to use this, like I just said, as my transition shade. Okay, right away there is quite a bit of kickback from the product. As you guys have heard me say before, I don't mind kickback as long as I don't have a ton of fallout and the shadows are pigmented. Now this isn't going to be like a full review of just this palette, just giving you guys my first impressions. I have swatched this palette just playing with it, and I wasn't quite as impressed with the pigmentation throughout the entire palette as I was with the Jaclyn Hill palette, so we'll see. Swatching on your hand is different than swatching, like actually putting it on your eyes, so we'll see how that goes today. Also, testing out the blue shades I feel like the blue shades are going to be one of the more challenging shades in the palette, so I feel like we'll get a good gist of how the palette performs. So far, the transition shade is blending out really, really nicely. I have no harsh lines, anything like that. Next, going in with Sunder, which is a medium tone transition shade. It's a little bit warmer, and I'm just going to apply this over top of our last shade. So again, that one applied really nicely, blended out right away, so good again. Next, I'm going to take the shade Sculpt, and this is a more neutral tone, darker brown shade, and I'm going to focus this just a little bit farther down in the crease. So next I am taking a darker brown shade, and this is called Stroke, and I'm going to layer that over top of the color that we just applied. Next, I'm going to mix the shade Frame and Hue, which is a little bit more cool toned, and applying this more and more into the crease. So I'm also going to bring those two shades onto the outer third of my lid. I'm also bringing this eyeshadow out into a little bit more of a point, or like a V on the outer corner. So I will say these shadows are blending out really, really nicely so far. I've just obviously used the matte brown shades, but I don't have any harsh lines. There's no patchiness or skipping, and I have zero fallout under my eyes right now. Okay, now for the fun part. We are going to cut the crease. So I'm just going to take a flat definer brush, and this is a Smith 212, and my concealer, which is my Tarte Shape Tape, and I'm going to cut just the inner 2/3 of my eye. Now that I look even crazier than before, we are going to go in with the blue shade, so I'm going to use Dare Me. I'm really debating between that one and Indigo here, but I think Dare Me is just, calling to me. So I am going to take a flat shader brush, and we are going to attempt to pack this on the lid without any Fix Plus or anything like that, and then we will try it with Fix Plus because I have a feeling that's the way I'm going to like it better. But we'll give it a fair shot by itself. Okay, right away we have fallout, but also it's quite a bit more pigmented without Fix Plus than I thought it was going to be. Now I am going to add some Fix Plus because I feel like it'll also reduce the amount of fallout that we have. Okay, we definitely have some fallout on the face. This is also why I did my eye makeup first, just in case this happened, which I had a feeling it would. But it's going on really nicely. The color is super, super pretty. And it is quite metallic, actually. Okay, this is such a pretty, pretty color. Now, the hard part is going to be blending the blue to the brown, but we'll see what we can do. So I'm going to go back in with the darker brown shades and just blend that blue into the dark brown. And actually, I think I'm going to take a little bit of black and put it in the outer corner. So I'm going to take this black shade here, and that is called Muse, and I'm just going to take the same more defined brush and just place this in the outer V of the eye. And then just very gently taking our initial crease brush and blending those edges out. Okay, and now I'm going to remove the tape. And you can see we have a super sharp line there. And then I'm going to take a makeup wipe and just clean up any fallout that we have. So I am going to use my usual face primer. So I'm going to use the Makeup Forever Step 1 Nourishing Primer, and this just adds a bunch of hydration for us. Okay, so I'm going to let that soak in for a minute, and I'm just going to apply some liquid liner along my top lash line. And I'm going to be using my Tom Ford liquid liner eye defining pen, and I've used this, but I haven't created a wing with it, so I'm going to let you guys know how easy it is to create a wing. I mean, I am following this really sharp, precise line, so it shouldn't be too hard, but now you can't see it as much because of the color of the eyeshadows, but it was actually really easy to create like a nice point and flick on it. Okay, I will say that was probably the easiest time I've ever had creating a wing. Is it worth $68? I couldn't tell you that yet, but the wings look pretty good. Okay, so another one of our first impressions for today is the Tarte Timeless Smoothing Primer. So I got this because Tati raves about it and talks about how much she loves it all the time. And I've been really into the Benefit Professional, so I thought I would try something new. So it comes in this pot. It's actually really nice. Very nice packaging. It's glass and then got the gold top. And it is It feels a lot thicker, but it's also like a silicone kind of pore filling primer. So we're going to see if this is better than my Benefit Professional. So this is what it looks like. It's much thicker, as you can tell. I'm just going to take a little bit and we're going to apply it to the places that I would normally apply my Professional, so around my nose and my cheek area. Now right away, I feel like since this is thicker, I feel like it's actually filling in my pores a little bit more. But when it's like warmed up, it's very like soft and mousse kind of texture. Okay, I can already see a difference with this. I can see that my face is like visibly smoother in the areas that I've applied it. Well, so far, really like that. I didn't have to use that much. Now, the only thing is, being in the pot, it's not quite as sanitary, but it's for my own personal use, so. So our next first impression is also from Tati. So it is the Laura Mercier Flawless Fusion Ultra Long Wear Foundation. Now, I'm pretty sure this is going to be too dark for me, but we're going to use it anyways. It's whatever. I wanted one between, like, my super pale winter color and my self-tan color, so this is what we went with. I got number 2N1 Cashew. The bottle's really nice. It's like the matte glass. Tati was saying this might be her new favorite foundation, so I was like, I'm going to give it a try. So I'm just going to shake it up, and it has a pump. And then I don't know how quickly this dries, so I'm just going to do half my face. It's not super liquidy, but also not super thick. It's pretty in between. So we're going to try that for right now. I'm going to use my beauty blender like always. Blend it out really nicely. I'd say it's about a light to medium coverage foundation. And it's actually not too crazy dark for me right now. It's about the same color as my L'Oreal Pro Matte foundation. And it's a really nice undertone. It's not super warm where it's yellow, but it's also not pink. Okay, so that was 3 pumps on my face already, and I'm not fully done. So far, it's sitting really nicely on the face. It's not settling into any dry spots like my forehead or my nose or anything like that yet. So I'm also just going to take some down my neck. And then we're going to see if we can build up the coverage a little bit just on my cheek area. And around my nose. Okay guys, no joke, this foundation is beautiful. It's also not super off for my color right now, but it layered up super nicely, and with this primer, honestly, it looks like my face is like just airbrushed right now, and I'm really enjoying this. It has no crazy scent to it. Actually, it doesn't really have a scent at all. It's like a soft matte finish. It's not crazy matte, but it's also not dewy. And it is not catching on any dry spots on my face. Alright, I'm about this. Next, we will see how it layers with concealer. So I'm going to use my Tarte Shape Tape in Light Medium Honey. You guys know I use this every single day. Then I'm just going to take my smaller beauty blender and blend this guy out, making sure we don't disrupt our eyeshadow. And the concealer laid over it beautifully. Wow, I'm real impressed right now. It's not lifting the foundation up or anything like that. Now I'm going to apply concealer to the high points of my face. So again, still looks really, really nice with the concealer layered over top of it. It's not lifting any of the foundation up or making it look heavy or anything like that. Okay, I'm going to set the foundation with just a little bit of powder. I really like the way it looks. I would honestly leave it like that. It's just that I always set my foundation, so I feel like, again, I have to give it a fair chance. So I'm going to use my Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Powder Foundation. You guys know I use this every time I wear foundation. So I'm just going to apply a super light amount. And if it was possible, my face looks even more airbrushed now. Not mad about it. This is the best foundation day I have had in a really, really long time. Let's bronze up the face. I'm going to take my NARS Laguna bronzer. Big surprise there, everyone. Big, huge surprise. Okay, and I think I'm going to take a little bit of Hoola bronzer just to warm up the face further. Okay, so I have used this on camera before, but it's still relatively new. It is the Tarte Blush Palette. Blush Bazaar Amazonian Clay Blush Palette. These are my favorite blushes, the Amazonian Clay formula. So I could not pass this guy up, and I think I am going to use something very neutral today. I think I'm going to use Angelic, which is the shade that I have also used before in my videos. I am going to quickly fill in my brows off camera, and I will be right back. Alright guys, so my brows are now filled in, and we are going to apply lashes. So this is another one of my first impressions. So Dani Beauty just came out with silk lashes, and she came out with 4 styles, and I'm not gonna lie, I got them all. You guys already know I have a lash problem. So I will show you the styles that she came out with. So we have Shook, which is a more spiky, full fanned out pair. Selfie, which is a more piecey kind of cat eye shape. We have Slay, which is more piecey but a more rounded lash. And then we have the lashes that I'm going to be applying today, which are called Savage, and they are very fluffy and, again, more round. I wanted like a thicker, darker lash for this look. So I'm going to trim these and apply them, and I'll be right back. I'll let you know how they apply. Alright guys, so my lashes are on. They were super easy to apply. They're also really light, so I like them. They're nice and dark and fluffy, but nothing like too dramatic where it's taking away from the actual eyeshadow look. So we are going to finish the lower lash line because this look is looking a little top heavy right now. Our initial transition shade, and then I'm going to mix in a little bit of our second transition shade and apply this to the lower lash line. So next, taking the other shade that we used in the crease, I am going to apply that again to the lower lash line, and then as we go, we're going to obviously get closer and closer to the lash line, the darker the shadow gets. Taking the 2 dark brown shades that we use, so this one and the cool tone shade, I'm going to mix them and apply them right underneath my lower lash line. And then next, taking the smallest amount of black shadow, I'm just going to press that into the lower lash line. Next, taking my Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On Pencil in the shade Perversion, that is the black shade, I'm going to apply that to my waterline. And then, last but not least, to complete this look, we need to highlight. So, another, and my final first impressions is going to be the Fenty Beauty Kilowatt Highlighter. And this is in Lightning Dust and Fire Crystal. It is the second lightest shade, if I'm not mistaken, because there is a pure white shade. So first of all, this packaging is beautiful. So it's white, but it has, which you probably won't be able to see, it has a purple pink reflect on it, and it is just so pretty. I didn't notice. It's like pearlized, and I probably spent 5 minutes looking at it. So I have a brand new Morphe M510 brush here, so there's no product on it, never has been used. And we are going to highlight. This thing is so hard to get open though. Okay, so you have the more subtle shade, which is Lightning Dust, and then you have Fire Crystal, which is the much more shimmery shade. So we're going to start with Lightning Dust, the more subtle shade, and apply this first, just to see what we're working with. And it's safe to say even that is pretty blinding. Okay, and then let's take a little bit of the more shimmery shade, which it does look very shimmery. And we're going to apply this to the very high point. Oh my god. That's a little crazy. Okay, we're definitely going to have to go blend that out. And honestly, for this look, I think I would have went for something a little bit more gold toned. But I really want to try this highlighter out, so. The final touch to the look, lips. And would you be surprised if I told you I was going to use Kat Von D Ludwig? Probably not. I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to try it out, see how it looks. I might add a little bit of Ophelia on top because it's a little bit more peachy toned. Yeah, I think that's more it. Never worn blue eyeshadow before, and I am not mad about it. Alright guys, so this is the completed look. I honestly have to say I love everything that I used today. I loved the primer. I think it looks super flawless on my face right now, and it might be a combination of the foundation and the primer, but I absolutely love it. The foundation looks amazing. I don't remember the last time that I tried a foundation where I was this blown away initially, so sorry, I keep like taking a step back and looking at it. So yeah, primer and foundation, probably my two favorite things that I have tried. The eyeshadow palette is super, super pretty on my eyes right now. I love how you get like as many looks as you could possibly want out of this, like the warm tone shades, the brown shades, the blue shades, the green shades, and we all know I love green, and apparently I love blue now too. They all, like I said, when I first swatched them on my hands, which I didn't do in this video, but I was just playing around with the palette, just swatching, I wasn't super blown away by all the colors, but on my eyes, I really, really love them. I'll definitely be using this again. The only downside is that I will say this palette is definitely not portable. You could travel with it, but it probably wouldn't be easy. Also, as a side note, I love Morphe's new packaging. I think this looks beautiful. And super sleek and high-end. The Fenty Beauty Kilowatt Highlighter is insane. I was surprised that I heard a lot of people say that the more subtle shade is very subtle, which I will say I don't think so. But the shimmery shade, it doesn't look sparkly on my face, but oh my god, is that ever intense. Am I missing anything? Oh, the lashes. I really, really like these lashes. I think they're super pretty. They are very lightweight. I honestly can't feel them on my eyes at all. I think that's it for my first impressions. I'm really impressed that I liked everything. This never happens. Also, I'm going to set my face, and then I'll probably check in with you guys later. I'm just going to run some errands. I'm going to put up the Christmas decorations with my mom. So I'm having a pretty low-key chill day. I actually have the day off work. So I probably will check back in with you guys later. I'm just going to set my face, so like I said, giving the foundation a fair chance. So all in all, like I said, I really love this makeup look. Like, I haven't had this good of a makeup day in a very, very long time. And yeah, I will see you guys in a little bit. Alright guys, so it has been 9 hours since I last talked to you guys. It is now 10:30 at night. And I just thought I would do my final check back in with you guys. So let's just get right into it. So the primer and the foundation look really, really nice still. Especially for being on for 10 hours. Well, I haven't had the most rigorous day. I've done a lot of laying in bed and relaxing for once. I've still been laying on pillows and whatnot, and the foundation still has stayed in place and looks almost just as nice. It does look a little bit powdery right now, but nothing I couldn't fix with spraying some Fix Plus. I'm giving both of those a thumbs up. One of my friends came over and both my mom and her said that it doesn't really look like I have anything on my skin and it just looks really, really nice and almost like airbrushed. The eyeshadow still looks amazing in my personal opinion. I really, really like this eyeshadow look. I will definitely be wearing it again. It is not creased, it has not faded, anything like that. So I'm giving this eyeshadow palette a thumbs up as well. The highlighter is definitely still there. So again, I'm giving that a thumbs up. It doesn't look super glittery or anything like that, but it is still very prominent after the 10-hour mark. What else did I try out? Oh, the lashes. The lashes are very comfortable. I'm just very tired right now, so like my eyes will feel heavy regardless, but the lashes are very comfortable. They're very lightweight and they still look nice. They're still on. All in all, this is a very successful 5 first impressions. I didn't expect to like any of this, let alone all of this. But yeah, I'm having a really, really good makeup day, especially after 10 hours of wearing it, so I'm very impressed with that. So that is it. I'm just gonna keep repeating myself if I keep recording here, so I'm gonna cut this video off now so you don't have to listen to me talk anymore. But if you guys like this 5 first impressions, then be sure to give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe so you can see more videos from me in the future, and we will see you all again very soon. Bye everyone.